Thanks for watching Halftime TV. This is Leon Bailey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hello, welcome back, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. And I've been thinking about something, and I know we just did the other video a couple of minutes ago, and as soon as that video was concluded, I started thinking about it, and I know it's going to be something, something that's going to ruffle some feathers, because most of my viewers, most of my subscribers, they have their clubs in England or in Spain or in Europe or wherever. You have your club, you have your favorite players that you're looking on to week in, week out. And I think it's a conversation that's worth having, because we know a couple of weeks ago, Leon Bailey, when he did that controversial interview, he said anyone would be open to joining one of those big clubs. And personally, I don't think he will be at Aston Villa next season. Right? I'm just going to put it out there right now. Based on the form that he's having, and the form that he's having at the right time as well, because we're approaching, what, 3-4 games left in the season, give or take, but 3, 4, 5 games max left in the English Premier League season, plus the games that they have to play in Europe. I don't think he'll be at Aston Villa come next season. He got a pay raise recently. That pay raise is still less than what Ollie Watkins is earning, and Ollie Watkins, I think, is currently the club's top earner with like 150 grand a week. But the conversation that I want to have now is, where does Leon Bailey stand as it relates to the world's best wingers? Right? Where is he on your list of of wingers in the world right now? I know Jude Bellingham was being touted to be next Ballon d'Or winner. He's not a winger. He plays more like a number 8, number 10 kind of player. But as far as wingers go, I think in the Premier League right now, and I know statistics, and I'll quote some statistics for you in a second, because the statistics help, but I also want you guys to focus on the context of everything, because sometimes the statistics are there. However, we can't analyze sports solely on statistics, because there are a lot of players that they don't have anything to their game outside of their goal scoring, or they don't offer anything else outside of the goal scoring. And as a result, come the end of the game, come the end of the 90 minutes, they're the ones that are receiving man of the match awards, etc., etc., etc. But I think what we're seeing now with Leon Bailey and with Ollie Watkins and these guys, it's all-around play. It's defensive, it's the attacking, it's playing for the team rather than for yourself. And I think it's quite commendable. I'm going to run some statistics for you. We're going to go through the statistics, and we're going to include the context of everything as well. And then I'm going to turn it over to you to make the decision. Now, Craig Butler said Leon Bailey will win the Ballon d'Or one day. And I think people were saying, oh, he's crazy and all of that. Don't get me wrong, it's putting it out there, but I definitely think on talent, he is capable of getting himself in the conversation. I know he plays for Aston Villa, so maybe he might not get there playing for Aston Villa. And no disrespect to the Aston Villa fans, but we've seen it time and time again. We've seen the likes of Mo Salah having prolific seasons, like seasons out of this world, yet not receiving the nod that we think he really deserves when it comes down to European recognition. So I think he may very well be in the conversation. However, it's all dependent on what happens this summer. We're approaching fastly the transfer season. Very soon it'll be time where rumors are going crazy. Fabrizio Romano, he will be super active, tweeting and dropping videos like that, just to let us know who's going where next. Now, as for Leon Bailey, I think a lot of the top clubs in England and in Europe will be paying attention, because wingers like Leon Bailey, they're not around that much anymore. Let's be honest. And I know people, they just call them forwards because they play in a front three or whatnot. So the term, you have strikers and then you have forwards. So we don't really refer to them as wingers. But I think how Leon Bailey plays football is like a traditional winger, but he gets on the score sheet more often than not. So we're going to run some statistics for you, and this is to help you, the viewers and subscribers, in your assessment of who the top 5 wingers are currently in the world, and to help if Leon Bailey is actually in that conversation, or maybe he's even at the top of that list. But nonetheless, we'll put it out there and we'll provide a little bit of context as well, because I think context help in analysis. Okay, so first and foremost, we have Vinicius Jr. Now, Vinicius Jr.'s statistics this season, I won't tell you the number of games they played, but it's in the 40s for most of them, okay? So Vinicius Jr., 18 goals, sorry, 8 assists, all right? Vinicius Jr. plays for Real Madrid, who are expected to win the La Liga crown. They're also expected to, well, they may very well go on to win the Champions League. Now, if you know Real Madrid, oftentimes they have 4 or 5 world-class players in the squad. This Real Madrid team, albeit a younger team, it has top quality players in every position. So if we're going from defense, we have Rudiger, we have Alaba, who's been injured for big chunks of the season. We have Eder Militao. In midfield, we have Eduardo Camavinga, we have Chouameni, we have the likes of Valverde. So we have top quality players supporting Vinicius Jr. And I think from a defensive perspective, he's not required to do that much because of the quality players he's playing with. All right, so that's Vinicius. All right, Rodrigo plays for Real Madrid as well. So the situation is almost identical to Vinicius. He plays on the right flank, Vinicius plays on the left. And both of them oftentimes wreak havoc on their opponents, right? So we're past Vinicius Jr., we're past Rodrigo. Now I think it's time to move over to Germany, where one Leroy Sané has been kicking up a storm this season. Hasn't looked bad. He's been doing his thing. He was a thorn in Arsenal's feet a couple of days ago, and I think, hey, why not throw Leroy Sané in there? Again, statistics make up a very huge part of analysis, because if a player's all-around performance outside of goals and assists is up there and they're not getting the statistics, then you don't really consider them, right? But as soon as that player is getting the statistics in, then they become a part of the conversation. So Leroy Sané, 9 goals, 12 assists, playing for Bayern Munich. Again, we know Bayern Munich is a super team this season, an anomaly, because one Bayer Leverkusen is running away with it, and Leverkusen has basically not lost the game all season. So Leroy Sané is the next option, and this is option number 3, and this is wingers, right? We're talking about some wingers here. We have Florian Wirtz, and he plays for Bayer Leverkusen, who's not lost the game all season. His statistics are as follows: 17 goals, 19 assists, and he was one of those who came in as well, stepped up to the fore when Kai Havertz left Bayer Leverkusen. Remember, Leverkusen is that same team that Leon Bailey used to play for as well. So Florian Wirtz stepped up. He's been doing his thing in the Bundesliga, in the Europa League. 17 goals, 19 assists for Florian Wirtz. Okay, Bukayo Saka. So Bukayo Saka playing for Arsenal, and he's practically played almost all the games for Arsenal this season. I think primarily because Mikel Arteta does not have a replacement for Saka, and as such, Saka has to be out there 100% of the time if he's able. I think if he's able to walk, really. So once he can walk, Mikel Arteta wants him to be on the pitch, and I think Saka's game is similar to Leon Bailey's game as it relates to the directness, his willingness to go back and help out in defense and all of that. All right, so Saka, 18 goals, 12 assists across all competitions for Saka this season. What are your thoughts on that? Down now to Leon Bailey, 14 goals, 13 assists across all competitions. I think he's played like 47 games thereabout. So 47 games and 14 goals, 13 assists. Big season he's having. He continues to do well. He continues to improve week in, week out. Every time you see him, it's almost as if he's going to get on the score sheet or he's going to get an assist. And I think his all-round game this season is what most people have been talking about. Everything that he does for the team, and in addition to that, he's getting on the score sheet and he's getting those assists in as well. Luis Diaz, and let me get back to Saka. For context, Saka is currently playing in an Arsenal team that are challenging for the Premier League title. They're having one of those seasons where it's incredible. Everyone's talking about them, and he has a support around him, whether it's through Martin Odegaard. On the other hand, there is Gabriel Martinelli. There's Gabriel Jesus who comes in. There's Kai Havertz. So many top quality players in that Arsenal team. And I know people will say, hey, most of these players don't walk into a Man City team or in a Real Madrid team. And it's based on what Arteta has been doing with them. So fine. Fine. That's fair. But I still want you to consider the context of everything. Okay? So top quality players playing around Saka. From Leon Bailey's perspective now, just to name a couple of the players that are playing around them. And I'm going to throw it out there to ask you how many of these players would walk into a Manchester City or walk into a Liverpool team. All right, so Leon Bailey's team, we have John McGinn playing in midfield. And I had a conversation last week with someone where I was telling them John McGinn may very well be better than Declan Rice. But that's my opinion. You can agree or you can disagree. So we have Moussa Diaby, we have Morgan Rogers, who was bought from the Championship in January, and he's currently playing for Aston Villa. We have Ollie Watkins doing well, having an incredible season. I think he should be considered one of the players of the season so far. We have Matty Cash, we have Luca Dina, Moussa Diaby, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. So those are just some of the names that Leon Bailey has around him. Unai Emery doing his best to get them as far as possible in the Conference League. And from the Premier League standpoint, they're fighting for top 4. It's very obvious that Unai Emery is punching above his weight with the players at his disposal. But it's over to you, the viewers, to determine based on that. Okay, so we have Luis Diaz playing for Liverpool. Magnificent player. I think he's an incredible footballer. He's very direct. He does so much for the team. His off the ball work, impeccable. But again, the statistics need to be there if you're to be considered and if you're to be a part of the conversation. And I think from the eye test, we can just look and say, well, what a fantastic footballer. But Luis Diaz's stats this season, 13 goals and 4 assists across all competition. And I think based on that, a lot of people will say, it'll be a little bit iffy. But as far as wing play goes, I think personally, Luis Diaz is a fantastic winger and he's been doing incredibly well for Liverpool. But for context, Liverpool, again, fighting for the Premier League title. Liverpool has the likes of Diego Jota, they have Darwin Núñez, they have Mohamed Salah, all these players who can provide support. What that means is the onus or the burden of expectation isn't solely on the on him as a player. Okay, so I think it's one of the primary reasons why Luis Diaz will not be in the conversation come the end of the season for even team of the season. Primarily because from this Liverpool team, the weight of expectation on the burden is spread across. So we have Jota keep chipping in. We know Mo Salah is oftentimes the point man. So he more than likely comes up with a chunk of the goal season in, season out, and leads me now to Mo Salah, who has 24 goals and 13 assists across all competitions. He's had injuries this season. It's not one of his better seasons, and I know just coming out here and saying Mo Salah with 24 goals and 13 assists is not one of his better seasons. It sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it? But again, Mohamed Salah is Mohamed Salah, and he's one of those who, like, he guarantees you 20 plus goals almost every season. But come the summer, it's expected that Mohamed Salah will be moving on, and I think, and this is my opinion, I think Leon Bailey would be a perfect replacement for Mo Salah on that right flank for Liverpool. What I'm going to do now, since I've outlined all the statistics, I'm going to take a short pause and I'll go over to the comment section to see what's happening over here. All right, so Well, every goal Jamaica scores is another nail in the cup. No, I don't want to think of it as that. Is Leon Bailey the best winger in the world? What caused you to think of a question like that? Well, based on the performance right now, he's one of the foreign players in the world. And I know we're watching English Premier League every week. Personally, I watch multiple leagues. So the Bayer Leverkusens and the Bayern Munich and the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. We see these teams week in, week out. And even Chelsea, Ryan LFC, I think he'd be a very good replacement for Noni Madueke or whomever it is that Chelsea has playing on the right flank right now because they are not delivering. So, and we'll go into that now. So for Chelsea, I think it'll be a little bit tricky, primarily because if Aston Villa were to finish fourth in the Premier League, they're going to the Champions League. Chelsea may not play the Champions League next season, and at 26 going 27, Leon Bailey may want to play in the Champions League next season. The salary bit, I think he can very well easily get $200,000 a week or $250,000 a week at Chelsea. But again, the Champions League football, I think, is a little bit tricky. Chelsea is a developing team. They still haven't found their footing. And with Leon Bailey in the form of his life, he'll want to go into a team with a little bit more stability, a little bit more direction. And currently, I don't think Chelsea has that. Okay, so although he'd be a good fit at Chelsea on that right flank, I just don't think from the player's perspective and where he's at in his career, Chelsea would be the best destination. Okay, so that's for Chelsea. From a Liverpool perspective, there have been rumors that Mo Salah will be moving to Saudi Arabia. There have been rumors that Mo Salah will be moving to Saudi Arabia. What that does is it not only frees up some of that salary space, but it also frees up some money. All right. So again, going out there and because Mo Salah is on what now, £400,000 a week. Yeah, Mo Salah is on almost £400,000 a week. So if Leon Bailey comes in and you can give Leon Bailey £250,000 a week, you free up some of that salary space there. And with Virgil van Dijk, again, similar wages as Mo Salah, and he indicated that he's considering the renewal. He may very well not renew his contract because of the situation with Jurgen Klopp. So I think it would be a good fit from a financial perspective. Liverpool doesn't really like to spend a lot of money, and we expect Aston Villa to slap a huge price tag on him. I think somewhere £85 million should do the trick. 85 million pounds should do the trick. But Liverpool are oftentimes very business savvy. So let's see how that plays out. From an Arsenal perspective now, I think he'd slot right into that Arsenal team. But would it be a case where he'll be sitting on the bench with Saka starting? Will Mikel Arteta bring in someone to upset the balance of things right now? Personally, I think he plays very similar to Saka. I think their numbers are very similar as well. I'll go over the numbers again for Saka. 18 goals, 12 assists. For Leon Bailey, 14 goals, 13 assists. He wouldn't want to go to Arsenal to sit on the bench. Going to Arsenal, he want to go in there and start. The salary, the pay is not an issue. Arsenal doesn't mind spending the big bucks, although at times they can be a little bit frugal. I think they'll easily give him £250,000 a week. All right, but that's an Arsenal perspective. All right. Who else? Manchester City on the right flank. I think Manchester City may very well be considering him. Bernardo Silva right now is the right winger, and I don't think really he is a winger. Phil Foden prefers to play a little bit inside as well. Doku on the left-hand side and Jack Grealish, they give something different on the right-hand side. However, I don't see that directness from Manchester City. What we used to see with Mahrez and those guys, we're not seeing it now. So Manchester City, they don't have a problem spending the big bucks. They don't have a problem paying the big wages either. So very well could be the destination. And we've seen what he's done against Manchester City. So I think Manchester City could very well be in for Leon Bailey come the summer. Okay. Who did we miss? We had Tottenham. I don't think Tottenham will even be in the conversation. Kulusevski plays on that side. and I think Tottenham will not want to upset the balance of what they have right now. So I think the team with the best chance of signing Leon Bailey this summer in the English Premier League at least is Manchester City. Whether or not he'll be on the move, I personally think so. Let's hear what you, the viewers, have to say. Will he be on the move? Do you think he will be spending another season at Aston Villa? Again, the form of his life, and based on the statistics that we just outlined, all the top wingers across Europe, Florian Wirtz in a team that's already won the Bundesliga and unbeaten this season. Vinicius Jr., team that's expected to win the La Liga title, and I think they will win, and challenging for the Champions League. Rodrigo Goes, same situation. Bukayo Saka, team challenging for the English Premier League. Statistics, 18 goals, 12 assists. Leon Bailey with 14 goals, 12 assists. I think Mo Salah, if you take Mo Salah out of the conversation, because just take him out of the conversation, I think Leon Bailey is definitely top 5 winger in the world right now. But let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. Is Leon Bailey in your top 5 winners in the world? And to go even a step further, is he the best winger in the world based on current form? Let's hear it. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Halftime TV here is saying until next time. And remember, share your views in the comment section below. Shout out to Quick Link Shipping. Ship with them anything you need in the country. All right?
Thanks for watching Halftime TV. This is Leon Bailey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.